Hey, welcome to Collabs with Kate. I'm excited to have another lockdown COVID-safe interview session. Today I've got the lovely Blake here from A21 Campaign. Welcome.
Thanks so much, Kate. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you for coming on and just sharing a light and understanding as to what A21 Campaign does and who you guys are and how long you've been involved. It's awesome to connect with you and see how you started out the year with A21, the year I started Tailor Care. So that's amazing. And so tell us a little bit about in that journey for you since 2013, I guess, what's made you get behind A21 and what does A21 do?
Yeah, I'd love to share that. That's a great, it's really cool that we both started around the same time. And yeah, it was in 2013 that I actually first heard about the issue of human trafficking, and it was actually through A21. They were speaking at an event that I attended, which is on a film screening of this movie called Trade of Innocence, which was about child trafficking in Cambodia. And wow. I couldn't believe that that was a reality and that I didn't know that it was going on. But then A21 spoke afterwards and actually shared that it was happening globally on an incredible scale, as well as here in Australia. And that for me, I couldn't fathom that human trafficking, slavery was going on in Australia. And so for me, that was my moment where everything changed. And I just went home from there and just started researching all that I could about the issue, about human trafficking, what was going on in the world, and what A21 and other organizations were doing about this injustice. And so I've had various roles within A21 since then. So I actually moved to Sydney from Newcastle, where I was at the time, to volunteer back in 2016. And now I get the privilege of managing and leading our team here in Australia for the last 2.5 years, which is incredible. Wow. Because I really believe in what A21 does and what we stand for globally. And so A21 is an anti-human trafficking organization, and our mission is to abolish slavery everywhere forever. So we've actually been going for now 13 years, founded back in 2008, and we're in 19 offices in 14 countries. So we've really grown since the beginning, starting here in Australia and with a shelter in Greece. So it's really encouraging to see throughout the years the growth that A21 has had and the continued support that we've been able to have come alongside us to continue to champion what we do to abolish slavery.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think I started in 2013 with my business. I learned about A21 Campaign. I don't know when you first heard about them, but for me, it was when I was at a women's conference. I saw a clip about it happening and I, like the same as you, going, wow, how's this happening in the world? What is going on? And so it made me start questioning, what if this was my mother? What if this is my friend, my sister? I would do anything to see them have freedom. And so I tried to put myself in their shoes, I guess, and kind of understand the situations that they might be going through to get to that point where they're, exposed to, a mix of modern slavery, sex slavery, work rights, all that kind of stuff. And I started to learn about it because I was like, well, what is this, and how is this happening? And at that point, it was 27 million people globally. I remember thinking, wow, that's the size of Australia and New Zealand combined. And now the stats are so much higher, right? So what's the stats now for how many are trafficked around the globe?
Yeah, so the best estimates that we have are about 40.3 million people, and that's through the Walk Free Foundation, through their Global Slavery Index. But like you said, it is overwhelming. You can't even fathom that amount of people. It's about 1.5 times the size of Australia. Wow. So you think about the population of Australia in slavery, this whole country plus half again. So it's insane.
And it shouldn't be happening, especially in first world countries like Australia. It shouldn't be happening here, but it is. And I think that was a big eye-opener for me too, to understand that it's happening in my own backyard, and that, yes, I might not be in that world where I'm exposed to it or see it that I realize, but it is happening. And so trying to do my part as a business, I've always thought, you know what, I want to do a business for a cause, for a purpose in my recruitment business. I don't want to just do it for the sake of making money. I want to make an income to ultimately make an impact in the work I do. And so that's what motivates me. So if I can make more money in business, I can then give back to you guys and other charities that we support to actually make a difference. And I think that's a really powerful tool that we can have in today's world. At the time when I I launched Taylor Care, I thought, why not do a charity event for A21 Campaign? And I thought, there's no point, I could just do a party, but like that would just be a party. And so then my best friend and I decided to create an event. And it started off with, why don't we create a high tea for freedom? And then we thought, well, we could just invite our friends, have 20 people and do it. And then we went, you know what, we're thinking too small, let's go bigger. And then we decided we didn't know what we're getting into. It's kind of like a wedding. Until you've had a wedding, you don't understand what goes into the work that's involved. It's a bit like that with a big charity event. I had no idea what I was jumping into, but I was like, let's do this. And I got the local community of inner West Sydney involved. I got into like Facebook groups, mums groups, said anyone that's got a service or it's a product that they can donate to this event, please get involved. I got so many local businesses involved in the local area where I was living at the time. And we ended up renting out the Balmain Town Hall. And we had about 70 women there. I got all my friends from my local church group to come in and volunteer to host everyone. And it was just incredible to see the power of community collaboration. I had some of your team with us at a stand on the day for A21, and we did a silent auction. So we actually got all the products that everyone donated. We put together little packs. We ended up raising $3,500 on that day alone, just for the work you guys are doing. And I was just blown away at the impact that my little idea, putting it into action, and me and my friend were able to achieve. And actually it opened up so many doors, because I was like, you know what, we actually won several years in a row now corporate social responsibility awards in our industry. That first year I was in business, we were a finalist because of what we did for A21. And at the time I was like, oh, doesn't everyone do this? Isn't everyone doing stuff for charity through business? And apparently not. So yeah, it's just amazing. Just an idea and putting action to it, what the difference we can make to the work that you guys are doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's inspired you to work in this space within human trafficking, modern slavery? What is it that inspires you?
Yeah, I think from that initial point when I found out about the issue, I was actually taking a break from my studies, doing a Bachelor of Arts in French and Politics and International Relations. And having grown up in a small country town, I realised, and why I undertook these studies, was that I didn't know anything about what was going on in the world. I was so sheltered where I was, and so I wanted to learn more, and that's why I did international relations. And then once I found out about this issue, again expanding my knowledge and understanding of what was going on in the world, it was just like it helped to feed into where I was going and where I was moving and what I wanted to do to make a difference, I guess, in the world here in Australia and across the globe, and play my small part in making an impact. And so I think that finding out about the issue came at a pivotal time for me.
Wow.
My journey of figuring out what I was going to do, and it just really resonated in my heart, and I was so impacted by what I'd found out. And like you said, when you start thinking about those individuals, because 40.3 million people can be overwhelming. Like the number is, we can't actually fathom that amount of people in our mind, but we need to break it down to the individual, the man, woman, child, mother, daughter, cousin, best friend, whoever it might be, that's the reality for individuals across the globe. And so understanding that it could as well be me, it could be someone that I know, but even not, it is someone. And so for me, it's wanting to be able to do my part, and being able to partner with A21 and join the team to do that is incredible. But I love hearing what you've shared, because that's what I'm so passionate about, is the reality that each of us can do something, and it is finding out what that is, and then doing it, because not everyone's going to work for an anti-human trafficking organisation, or not everyone has a business to contribute, but what is the part that you can play as an individual to join in alongside a friend who wants to host a fundraiser or whatever it might be.
Exactly. I know my poor friend, she had no idea what she was signing up for. When we decided to do it, she was like, she had spreadsheets going, she had everything. We were like trying to, make sure we covered everything and thought of every detail to keep the cost down as much as possible so we could give as much to you guys as possible. But it gave me great life skills in business too, because it taught me that we can't all be good at everything, right? So very quickly, I learned that I had to utilize different people in my world to help me achieve the goal that we wanted to do with this event. And so I had, someone that was great with creative stuff, do the table decorations, someone that was great with film, and she was filming the whole event, and she got someone to sing, like a live, acoustic singers on the day. Different people, could help me host. So it was like everyone had their part, and I tried to utilize people for their strengths, right? So I'm great at overseeing it all, organizing, championing it, raising awareness, but it was great to see everyone in my world could get involved and help on the day, and ultimately launch my business now that I'm really proud of, and what the work we're doing and how we can help give back to A21 as well. So I guess I love that, I've obviously worked out that as a business, it's important to have an impact as well as an income. So if other businesses are watching, like small business owners, right through to large corporates, like what would be some practical things that we could be doing to support the work of A21 Campaign?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think across the board, there's so many things that individuals through businesses, large corporations can do. And we've actually developed a couple of resources on our website for businesses to be able to partner with A21 and in this work. And so one of the things that you can do is educate your employees. So educate yourself, educate your employees and your customers on what's going on. So whether that is through having A21 come and share within your business, or downloading some of the free resources that we've got, educational resources that we have available on our website, and printing out some flyers and having them for customers to be able to take away. Some basic things like that you never know the impact of what you can have beyond your business, and to those that come along into your business or are part of it in various ways. So that's one really tangible thing you can do. Another thing as well is we have what's called is our Walk for Freedom. So this is our largest fundraising and awareness event that we have at A21. And it really is an incredible day. And I know, Kate, that you've been a part of them in the past.
Yes. It's taking the whole family, taking my whole team. One year we had one of the staff brought her dog. I had my little girl who's now 6 almost, but she was about 2, I think, at the time. It was just amazing to see us all come together for a cause.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really is an incredible day across the globe, because as you know, A21, a global anti-human trafficking organization, we run this globally, and hundreds of cities across numerous countries participate in the walk, and it really shows that it's we're coming together globally to have a global impact, but also impacting locally as well in the fight. And so it's a really powerful day that people can be a part of. And as a business, we do have sponsorship opportunities available to you, where you can sponsor Walk for Freedom and give into our initiatives. So A21, our strategy is reach, rescue and restore. So you can choose different programs under those umbrellas to be able to support, to give into. And as part of that pack, there's certain things that you get as a business too, and incentives, but it's a really awesome initiative for businesses to get behind and to showcase that they're getting behind it as well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's that raising awareness and getting behind it in practical ways, even down to, like, I send out client gift packs, or when someone gets a job, I send them out a pack, and being able to add in a flyer from A21, and the different charities we support, a tea bag from Are You Okay, like the different charities, and just making them question, oh, who is these guys? Let me look them up. Just little bits of wherever I can, we try and raise that awareness. And I think that's really critical through my social media platforms, through our following, through our networks, and our groups that we run. It's about whatever we can, showing that there's we're all part of something bigger. There's a greater cause here, and by you working with us, we're able to give back to people like yourself. So I just love that we are able to showcase you guys on here today. And it's definitely practical things like, you know, for business, isn't it, to just get behind it. And whether you do a quarterly, you know, donation as a team based on how much you turn over, you might give a percentage. That's something me and my team have decided to do this year. So from every person we place into a job, we're committed $500 to give to in a pool for our charities. And at the end of the quarter, we're going to then donate that money accordingly to each of you. And we were able to do a little bit at the end of financial year. Despite lockdowns and COVID, I was committed that we would give to that. And I just believe that, like, you know, the more you give, the more you grow, and the more you see the impact, it just motivates everyone. You know, staff often say the reason they work for my small business is because they can see my heart behind the giving back versus, you know, just trying to make a profit, you know, and I love that they get behind that vision when they work for me as well and understand all about you guys and the work you do. So yeah, that's awesome. I would love to understand a little bit more about how A21 are helping across the globe around human trafficking, so and modern slavery. Like, what kind of programs, how do you rescue these people, what age groups are you finding are like more likely to get trafficked than others? Just give us a little bit of education on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. So as I just mentioned, A21 strategies reach, rescue, and restore. So under each of these strategies, we've got various programs and initiatives that we outwork. So reach is all about reaching the vulnerable and disrupting the demand of slavery through prevention, awareness, and education. So we've developed numerous education initiatives, educational resources that we have for free download from our website that really showcase what human trafficking is, highlight the issue, what it is, what it looks like in your context, in your community, and then how you can make a difference. So we've got education curriculum for high school students, we've got safety guides for particular vulnerable groups, and we've got parent guides for parents to be able to have the conversation with their children, with their kids and their teens on what the issue is. We also do presentations, so such as today, we go and we share and we speak about the issue, what it is, and then how people again can get involved and make a difference where they are, because we're really passionate about that. And if we can show and highlight what slavery is, what it looks like, and prevent trafficking from happening in the first instance, that's the ultimate goal. If we can stop it from ever happening in the first place, that is the goal and what we would love to see. And then we also have our global awareness campaigns, such as Walk for Freedom, as I mentioned, and Can You See Me as well, which is an incredible campaign that we run globally that shows different instances of human trafficking in different settings, from forced labor to forced begging, sexual exploitation, and shows a video of what that can look like, and then has the reporting mechanism at the end that if you see something, say something, and really putting the power to report in the everyday individual's hands, because as we said throughout this, we all can play a part and will make a difference.
That would be good to know, actually. Like, if we get the link for that, we can put that in the show notes in the video here, and like really let people look into that a bit further. And because that's one thing they say is like, hey, if I identify something that I think is not quite right, you know, at a local shop that I go to, I feel like the staff are being exploited, the English second language, they're not necessarily getting the rights that I know they should. What do I do about it? You know, where do I start? Who do I call about this? Like, you know, and then, and how do I make sure they'll be safe, you know, if I do report something to the federal police or whoever. So a practical way to do that would be really good, I think, for people to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got these ones globally, but yeah, as you said, the Australian Federal Police is the national investigative body here in Australia on instances of human trafficking. So we do encourage people to put their number 131237 in their phone, so that if they see something, they have the power to make a call, ask. You can do that anonymously as well. So yeah, it's a really important step.
Oh, wow.
Our second strategy is rescue. So this is about rescuing the victim and seeking justice against their captors. So again, we have a number of different programs that we run under this. So one of them is a hotline. So in 3 of our countries, in South Africa, Greece, and Bulgaria, we run A21 hotlines, which is a 24/7 a resource line where people can call to inquire about human trafficking, find out more information, ask questions, but it can also be used as an avenue to make a report. So if you see something that's going on that you think it doesn't look right, or you potentially as a victim themselves are able to make the call as well to the hotline, and our team are able to assist to help rescue victims out of those scenarios. We partner heavily with law enforcement within that to be able to rescue those individuals.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think, you know, I learned when I first started supporting A21 8 years ago now, that was like just in Greece, that hotline. So that's so amazing to see that come and to life and spread further in terms of how people can reach out. I wish we had that in every country, you know, like, wouldn't that be amazing? And I know a lot of the support that the donations you guys get in Australia goes to Asia, right? Pacific, a lot of the areas that you guys are targeting. I know at the time when I've donated in the past, I think it was Thailand, that was a big focus for you guys. Is that still the case?
Yeah. So the funds raised here in Australia support our work in Southeast Asia, so Thailand and Cambodia, as well as South Africa. So that hotline we mentioned, it does also help to fund that operation. But yeah, in Southeast Asia, in Thailand, Cambodia, we've been there in Thailand for now, I think 6 years, and in Cambodia for just a couple of years. We've had a registered office now, which is incredible. So the team on the ground, they do incredible work across the board in a lot of prevention focus, because there's so much vulnerability there. So raising awareness of what human trafficking looks like to help protect the most vulnerable in those communities. But they also have we have a child advocacy centre in Thailand and in Cambodia, which is an incredible facility that's being created because a lot of the victims that they're seeing in Southeast Asia are children who are being exploited either through forced begging or sexual exploitation as well. And so yeah, exactly. We've had cases as young as 18 months old come through our care, and so it's really important. And unfathomable.
Any mother out there or father would feel that, like, just, I can't imagine my child being taken away for something like that. Like,
so the team really do an incredible job there, working with law enforcement and other NGOs and government to be able to facilitate the rescue and restoration of individuals and helping them to find safe families and community around them, and really come alongside them, because the trauma, as you can imagine from what they've been through, is extensive. And so the Child Advocacy Centre actually creates a space where they can come and share with a social worker, and what they share there can be used to convict their traffickers, so that they don't have to go through the court proceeding, they don't have to be re-traumatized. What they share with the social worker can be used, and they don't need to face such a program.
Wow, that's incredible. I didn't realize it was that young. I heard 8 years old was like the youngest, and then I can't believe that's being done to babies. So I think that's amazing that we could get behind that, and definitely that's information around all that's on your website, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got country specific pages across our website where you can find out more about what we're doing in each location too.
That's awesome.
And then our final strategy is restore. And so this is our aftercare side of things, where we come along survivors in our care to equip them to live independently. And so it really is dictated and governed by the survivors and what they need in their journey, because obviously they've had so many choices taken away from them through their exploitation. And so we want to make sure that through applying for jobs or education, whatever they want, that we're there to be able to facilitate that. So our team do an incredible job as well in coming alongside our survivors, and especially like last year with COVID, there were so many more challenges that were placed helping to assist and rescue survivors and support them ongoing. So the team really pivoted and did an incredible job to come along survivors, supplying care packages and tablets, and so that they could stay connected, because obviously that isolation can bring up triggers from what they've been through in the past. And so it was really intentional about staying connected with the survivors in the care, which is beautiful.
Wow, that's amazing. And thank God for the power of technology, hey, where we can keep everyone connected like this, like we've proven today, being able to have this chat. And It just shows the power of connection. Community collaboration is key in order to us to help these vulnerable people groups, you know, throughout the world. And yeah, I just am so grateful that we get to be a voice, you know, to these people that don't have that freedom. We're able to be that voice for them, and in the long run to hopefully give them that freedom back, and hopefully they'll be able to speak up for themselves when they're ready. And you know, just seeing that impact, knowing that we can all do our part, you know, being a voice for those that can't speak up for themselves. Like, I just think that's such a powerful tool that we have with social media, with you know, our networks online, and so raising awareness about the work of A21 is just something I'm really passionate about. So thank you so much for sharing all of that information. And for anyone that's interested to see a bit more, jump on the A21 website and get behind them and support them in any way that you can. And just to finish off, I love quotes. I'm a quote queen. And so I'd love to know what your favorite quote is and why.
Yeah, that's a great question. I know. Well, this quote actually has had various variations that I've seen, but I think it was Helen Keller who said it originally, that I cannot do everything, but I can do something. Therefore, I must do what I can. And it's pretty much been what we've been chatting about through all of this. And something that I'm so passionate about is that I know I can't do everything, but my part matters, and the part I play matters. And so I just, want to encourage people that you can do something, that to not be overwhelmed or daunted by the statistics, because there are so many people who are joining together to make a difference in this space, and we will continue to do that. And so just encourage you that to not be overwhelmed, that you don't have to do everything, but find that something that you can do.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That's such a great quote. Thank you so much. And yeah, I hope this is, you know, planted a seed for people to do something, you know, in their sphere of influence, because we all have a role to play in making a difference. And so, yeah, I'm so grateful that we could come together and do this interview. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Kate. It's been so good.
Bye.